Lucy's Kitchen. It's Lucy's Kitchen. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Lucy's Kitchen. Lucy's Kitchen. Lucy's Kitchen. It's Lucy's Kitchen. Lucy's Kitchen. Lucy's Kitchen. Oh yeah. Lucy's Kitchen. She's Lucy and she's got a kitchen. Lucy's Kitchen.
And now that we've got your attention, let's cook. Hi there. Welcome to Lucy's Kitchen. I'm Lucy, and this is my kitchen. Today we're going to talk turkey. Thanksgiving's just around the corner, and it's a different kind of year this year. We're all kind of worried. What are we going to do? It's a pandemic year. So I'm not cooking a 15, 20-pound turkey and inviting 20 of my best friends over for Thanksgiving dinner. I am just cooking for my husband and myself. And the way to do that is to make everything that you love and make them smaller. So we're going to start with a beautiful turkey breast. Now this turkey breast is it's very fresh and it's very, very nice. And what I like to do is I like to put herbs underneath the skin. A turkey breast, people think, isn't always moist and delicious, but it will be, because I've got some special techniques to share with you. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just loosen the skin, and I'm going to just cut that a little bit, okay, just so I can get under there. There's a couple of membranes here, and I'm trying to create a pocket and I would do this whether I'm doing a turkey breast or a turkey or a whole turkey. I do this exact same thing, which is to open it up and put some of these delicious herbs under the skin. It makes for just a wonderful flavor. And so the herbs I'm using here are sage, of course, a little bit of thyme, and some fresh oregano. So, all right, that is pretty fast. We don't have to dwell on this too much, and try not to cut through the skin when you're loosening it up, but I'll give you a peek so it makes a nice pocket. So I'm going to just go ahead, now here's my sage, and I'm going to just take the leaves off because we just want to evenly put the sage on. And then I've got this oregano. It came from my garden and it's fresh, but you know, at the grocery store, if you look in the produce department, you can find little packages of poultry herbs, and so they usually have oregano, or they have rosemary, and rosemary would work just as well. And here's my little bit of thyme. So I just want to put a little bit under the skin on this side, and a little bit of each of these herbs. And this is just going to give this an incredible flavor. Today we're going to do a different kind of turkey breast. Personally, I don't have to worry about what anybody else wants. We can make the flavors that we want, and I live in New Mexico, as I've told you many times, so I'm going to make this a little bit more New Mexico style. Now I'm going to loosen the skin on the other side. So after I put in the traditional herbs and spices, which are basically the ones we just talked about, sage and so forth, I'm going to add a New Mexico rub to it. Okay, so here we go. And again, I am loosening this up, and it's going to be just lovely when we get all of these herbs in here. So I stripped the thyme, and I'm putting a couple of bits of sage and some of the oregano right in here. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Oh, it's doing itself. It's already stuck there. And sometimes when you're doing turkey, you've got these membranes, as I said earlier. So you just very gently cut through the membrane, and you can get right in there with your hands, and that's all you need. So I'll put some of that. Oh, I've got this. And here's my oregano and some thyme. Okay, and I still have this nice chunk of oregano. Okay, so this looks pretty good. And in fact, I think I'm going to just open it up all the way and just do a little bit of a cut again so I can get right in there. And I'll put the rest of these herbs right here. Okay, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to take a little bit of this salt and pepper and sprinkle it on the flesh. And then I'm going to cover this up very, very neatly. Go back to the other side and do the same thing. Just a little pinch of salt and pepper in here, and that's all we need. Now, okay, and I'm going to tuck the skin all the way around so it makes a neat bundle. Now I'm going to take the turkey breast and I'm going to put it in this gigantic roasting pan. You don't need a gigantic roasting pan, but you do want a pan that has high size. It'll help it cook quickly and it'll keep it moist. I'm going to just put it right here, spread it out just a little bit, and keep tucking those herbs in. And now I'm going to cover it with salt and pepper. So we'll just sprinkle it all over the skin, turn it over, sprinkle it over the middle, and you know, do a good job of salting it. It'll taste better later when you don't want to have to salt it too much later. Okay. All right, now for my New Mexico seasonings. These you can use regular chili powder. You can use any rub that you like, actually. I happen to have made this rub. It's just like chili powder, but with a little bit more chili. And I'm going to rub it on the outside of this thing, this beautiful breast. And I don't mind it falling in my pan. That's why I'm not doing it on the counter. And then just put some in the inside. I'm using like 3 tablespoons of this, and I might not even use all 3. Now, this does double duty. Not only does it make it taste delicious, but it also gives you a beautiful golden color. And that makes it look very appetizing. So here we go. All right. I think that's pretty good. All right. Now by the way, you could always brush this with a little oil or butter before you put the seasoning on if you want. But here's the trick that we're going to do. Now, I've got my turkey. It's going to go like this. Actually, I'm going to put it in like this. Okay, so my secret is to cut a length of cheesecloth and soak it in butter, and then drape it over the entire breast. And as I said earlier, I do this whether I am cooking a turkey breast or a turkey. So this piece of cheesecloth has been soaked in melted butter, and now we're just going to wrap this whole thing up. And then 10 minutes before we take the whole thing out of the oven, we'll remove the cheesecloth so it will be nice and brown. And if you have any seasonings left from your seasoning mix, just go ahead and sprinkle them on top. And they will just, when the butter melts again, when it cooks, it will add just more flavor to it. Okay, so that's it. So now that our turkey breast is ready, I'm going to turn it so that when it sits in the oven, it's going to be a balanced heat all the way around. While your turkey breast is cooking, you can easily make your side dishes. And, you know, you can make your mashed potatoes and so forth and so on. So this doesn't have to be a big operation. Super simple. And once you put it in the oven, you're kind of done. So I'm going to take it over there in a second after I wash my hands, and I'll meet you over there. All right, here we are at the oven. I've been preheating it to 425. The nice thing about this turkey is because you can cook it with high heat and you've got this butter-covered cheesecloth on top, it's going to be moist, but the skin is still going to be good and crispy. So put this in here. Try not to burn yourself. The nice thing about a turkey breast too is if you only have one oven, you've got plenty of room for heating up your side dishes, and you don't have to struggle and try to juggle them in between cooking the turkey and making the gravy. So this is going to work out great. Well, it's been cooking for 45 minutes. At about the 20-minute mark, I checked it and I just turned the whole pan around so that it cooked evenly. And now it's time to remove the cheesecloth. And we're going to do that so we can brown it even more. Well, looks pretty brown. Okay, I can take that, throw it in the sink, and it looks good. One easy way to check it is to poke it. Here, I'll do it with a knife. Poke it and see if any juices run out. And they're clear. So it's pretty done, but it's still not crispy. So I'm going to put it right back into the oven for 10 more minutes. And then we'll check it again, and I'm pretty sure it'll be done. Okay, let's check and see how this baby's doing. Oh, wow. I think it's perfect. It definitely looks done to me. Just to be sure, poke it one more time and press. Okay, juices are totally clear. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the serving platter before we make our gravy. Oops. Okay, that is, let's bring this closer. And there we go. That's just fantastic. All right, now for the gravy, it's very basic. The difference is that this is going to have the most wonderful New Mexico kinds of flavors in it because of the drippings from this beautiful turkey breast. I'm putting it on the burner, and my burner is, I have a long burner, but you can just do it over a single burner or over 2 burners. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of white wine in here to help me get up some of the drippings. Oops. All right. Can't do it that way. I got to hold on. And this is basic. Now, this is what you call au jus. You can really just do a little wine, cook off the alcohol, or add a little bit of chicken broth, and you can be done. What I'm dealing with here are these lovely little brown bits that are stuck to the bottom. Oh, and it smells amazing. So here's what I can smell. I can smell the herbs, the traditional Thanksgiving herbs, and I can also smell the chili and all of the things that, all the spices that are in that rub. All right, now we don't want this to go to just cook down. So we're going to put in some butter. And as soon as that's melted, I'm going to add some flour. That's 2 tablespoons of butter. And I've got 3 tablespoons of flour. As soon as, okay, you can see all the bits are coming up. It's just And this is a really easy way to clean your pan. Okay, now I'm going to add the flour. And I'm going to turn the heat down to low. The nice thing about this is that you're going to make a roux. So you're going to cook some of the flour flavor away. And it is, it kind of thickens up and gets into a gooey mess. But that's how it starts. And then you start adding the broth, and it really comes alive and becomes gravy. And I also have my whisk. And my whisk is also going to be handy. So now I'm going to start adding my homemade chicken broth. And you can use broth from a box. You're going to need about 3 cups. Sorry, cup and a half. Okay, then back to my spatula. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to smush it. Smush that flour so that you can combine it evenly. And since it's on low heat, it's not going to, become a blob again. So we're just going to keep doing that until we have it fairly smooth. As soon as it thickens up, we'll add a little more until we add all of it. Let's see how that's good. Okay. And it's good to do this with just a small amount of broth, because if you put a lot of broth in, it would be very difficult to combine it in a smooth way. That's how you get really lumpy gravy. Okay, it's really a simple thing to do, and I'm making more gravy than I need, because tomorrow I'm going to make a turkey casserole out of the leftovers, and I want gravy for that. So I'll layer the stuffing, the turkey, mashed potatoes, but before I put on the mashed potatoes, because that's sort of the crust, I'll pour over the gravy. It's just a delicious thing. I'd love to know what you do with your Thanksgiving leftovers. Do you have some sort of casserole that you love to make, or turkey soup? All of that sounds really great. And it's pretty smooth, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep cooking it. Now I've turned the heat up, and I'm going to cook it until it thickens. And once it thickens, oh, that's another thing. I want to taste it. So I'm going to taste this and make sure it has the right seasonings. Well, I think you could use a little salt and pepper. So when this thickens, it's going to pull away from the bottom of the pan a little bit. And if you're making this ahead, you can make it in the pan and then put it into a saucepan. And when you're ready to serve, you can just bring it to, I wouldn't even bring it to a boil. Bring it to a simmer over low heat and stir it a lot, and then it'll be ready to use when you're ready to serve. And this gravy, as you see, as I just pull my spatula over the top, you can see that it's just pulls away, and that's how you know it's thick enough. And so we're done. This turkey breast is so lovely. I really want to bring it to the table and slice it at the table, because it just is so dramatic. I've decorated it with some chili peppers, some yellow, red, orange ones, some jalapenos, just because we're doing a little bit of New Mexico. I've got stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, some broccolini, which I adore. It's baby broccoli and it's just so good. And one of the things you can do is decorate with the cranberries. Just throw some on everywhere and they'll just give it a little bit of punch. So I'm ready to slice it, and I'm pretending I'm at the table, but I'm really right here getting ready to taste this thing. So here we go. Oh, doesn't that look wonderful? Oh, nice piece of, it's a little awkward because I'm upside down here. There we go. Oh my gosh. That is gorgeous. Look at that. And I think I'll take another one. Oh, it smells incredible. I am very happy I decided to go ahead and make a little Thanksgiving, even though we're in quarantine. This is just absolutely lovely. You know what? Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to turn it around and make it easier on myself. Okay, that worked. There we go. So put this one on top of that one. We're going to do a little bit of decorating like that. Okay, look how pretty that is. And then look how pretty this is. It's juicy. There's no way that this turkey is dry. I'm going to push it out of the way, grab my silverware. But before I do, before I taste it, I'm going to put some of that delicious gravy on it. So just put it on my mashed potatoes. I've put a well there, and some people like to put it on their turkey. I'm just going to put it on the side, maybe with a little dripped on top, because I want to taste it unmasked by gravy. So this plate is absolutely lovely, just perfect. And here we go. Oh, This turkey is so moist. It's absolutely lovely. There's no one who can complain about this. And I have enough turkey for my husband and me. I also have enough turkey to make turkey sandwiches, turkey casserole, and once I'm down to the bone, I can make turkey soup out of the bone from this breast. I'm so glad you joined me today while we cooked Thanksgiving for a pandemic. It's just going to be the two of us, but we're still going to have fun. We're going to enjoy it, and I hope that at your place you do too. Make your favorite dishes on the side, and now you know how to make this great turkey breast. I hope you make it over and over again, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please join us next week when we offer you more recipes from my kitchen to yours.